Okay, so this video will go over the directions for the setup for your Archimedes principle lab. The first thing you will need to do is make sure you have the correct volume of water in your graduated cylinder, and then you will begin to construct the setup of the actual lab. So this gold piece will already be on your pole. If not, you will need to place it on just by screwing this in here, and then you place this screw in this slot here, and you will just tighten this until it cannot move anymore. And then you will be moving this up and down in the lab, so we will go over that. The next is you need to get the force sensor actually on the screw. So the screw is holding up the force sensor, so you might need to unscrew this to loosen it a little bit, and then you screw it back in to tighten. Okay, and then at this point you should have Logger Pro up on your computer, and you will connect your force sensor to your computer. So if this white piece isn't plugged in, connect that here, and then connect the USB to your computer. And if Logger Pro is open, it should set up automatically. And then at this point, you should make sure you zero your force sensor. So just click this button that has a 0 with the line through it, and that should zero. You should see it right there. The force is now at 0. Okay. And so you will be going back and reading that during the lab. Okay, the next step is, this is the bucket and cylinder we're using in the lab. At some points you'll just have the bucket. At some points you have the bucket with the cylinder in it. And to hang it, you take this pink string, and you take the loop and you go through, and you go about halfway through, and then you have it so both loops are holding it up like this, and then you just hook both loops through the hook here. Okay? And then at this point we need to figure out our desired height of the actual force sensor, and then just for our starting point, and then we'll be moving it down. But basically you want it kind of just above the water to start, so you don't have to move it down that much. So once again, just unscrew this gold screw, and slowly lower it into your graduated cylinder, and then we'll just stop here for now. And then as much as possible, you want to make sure your bucket isn't making too much contact with the graduated cylinder throughout the whole course of the lab, because you don't want that to be affecting your force readings. And then once you have your desired height for your starting initial height, you take the blue tape and you just wrap it right around here at the top. So you will be making measurements from here. So this is where you will be making your depth measurements from. And so then as you go throughout the lab, you're going to lower a bucket or a bucket deeper into the graduated cylinder. So at that point you just unscrew the gold screw and you lower it to your desired new depth. And then to measure the depth you lowered it, you just take the ruler and measure like this. And then at some points throughout the lab, you might change your setup a tiny bit, where you take the cylinder